we're back for another episode of Democracy, Disney, and Drinks. So I'm going to start with tariffs, which is, it's one of those things where Trump always is talking about, what his reasons for this tariff war are always changing. It was, there's trade deficits. We're trying to correct it. They've been ripping us off all this time. Mm-hmm. Except the UK had a trade surplus with us, not a deficit. So they were actually buying a whole lot more from us than we were buying from them. So it's odd, right? That then they're touting this deal, which really isn't a deal. This is just kind of what does Trump like to say? Concepts of a deal, maybe?
Concepts of a deal, maybe.
Concepts of a deal.
Art of the deal.
Art of the deal. I still haven't read that. I have this clip from the Oval Office, and I'm just going to play it, and you can. This Howard Lutnick, which some people are calling Nutlick. I don't know if you've heard that. I followed. I made you laugh.
I do. It's the little thing.
Tim Miller.
Oh, pun intended.
I know. Tim Miller, who I follow on Blue Sky, and I've watched him for a number of years. He was a conservative. He helped out with a lot of Republican campaigns. He's with the Bulwark now. He is completely anti-Trump. He's on Nicole Wallace a lot, that I watch on MSNBC. She was also a Republican, worked with John McCain. So these are my trusted sources. And so he has a podcast, and he called him Nutlick, and I almost fell off the lawnmower. But
that's nice.
Yeah. So Howard Lutnick was in the Oval Office, and here it is. It's just it makes me sick.
President, and by the way, I want to make this clear. While Jameson and I worked hard, this was the president's deal, and people think, oh, that's not the way it works. If you got to sit next to him, I have the best deal maker to my left, and if you don't think that we take advantage of him calling the prime minister, getting that deal done, you don't understand who's the president of the United States. So he's the closer. He gets deals done that we could never get done because he understands business. He understands deals. And that's why we're here today. So.
Yeah, so there's that. Howard Nutlick, really likes Trump. And
he really licked the nuts on that one.
So it's, and he's also the guy, I don't know, because we've covered a few of the cabinet meetings, like he just laughs at everything Trump says.
I
like
remember
a giddy schoolgirl.
When he was like, I think it was one of the many times where he was signing his lovely little, what are they called? His presidential orders or whatever.
Executive orders.
Executive orders. God, my mind. I've had a few drinks.
What are you drinking? Hold on. What are you drinking?
I switched over. The margaritas were a little strong. I switched to just a little strawberry daiquiri mix thing. Okay. It's not great either, but it's Mother's Day. Whatever. I need to relax.
Look at what I'm drinking. This is something new. It's called Mom Water, and this is Linda. There's a Karen one too. I know.
Love it. Love that for you.
Blueberry peach. It's not sparkling because I don't like those sparkling drinks.
God, me neither. They're gross.
It's disgusting.
Tastes like beer to me. I don't know why, but it tastes like beer.
Thing. Well, this almost tastes like water. So there's vodka in it. I don't know how this is going to go later. So
what percentage?
It's 4.5%.
Oh, okay. I was at 13, so that's fine. But anyway, Howard Nutlick was like standing next to him during the one. I think it was when he was banning paper straws, and he's just giggling in the background. I'm just like
you're a grown ass man.
Like,
what the hell is wrong with you?
At first, I thought he was kind of like laughing at him because it was so absurd. But no, I think he just thinks he's the greatest thing ever. And just
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Are they using
and he's a billionaire. How the hell did he get money? He had to be born into it. I don't know. The guy just comes off as a complete buffoon. But okay, so we have these tariffs, and this kind of feeds nicely into what I see as, and what a lot of people see as, kind of this corruption ring, I guess, because these tariffs, there's exceptions being carved out for Apple and the iPhones, for this, the Rolls-Royce airplane engines. You know who's not getting carve-outs? The mom and pops, the small businesses, or even moderate-sized businesses.
That Republicans are supposedly the party for.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So these are the people, and just wait, it's one of those things that you're seeing the port traffic drop now. We won't feel it right away, but I mean, the experts are saying within the next month. Well, a month to 2 months is what they're saying. We'll start seeing, like, this summer, shelves will start to be empty. And so just wait. Just wait.
I gotta load up now. So I can sit back and watch all this shit burn.
Woo! So, there's the people around Trump essentially are not feeling it like the rest of us are going to feel it, and in some instances are already feeling it. And so I have a lot of, until we started this podcast, I didn't really listen to podcasts. So, but I'm now all about these podcasts. I find, because I think they, for the most part, they are better than, like, the mainstream media as far as, honing in on really important things, and getting, experts on to talk about things that are really relevant. And so I'm following this guy. His name is Scott Galloway. I don't know if you've seen this. His podcast is the Prof G Pod, and I think maybe the Professor G Pod, but Prof G Pod. And he is a professor at NYU at the Stern School of Business. He's extremely well off. He's self-made, and he has a lot of interesting topics on. In fact, he had Chris Murphy on, who I know you and I both really like.
I enjoy him so much.
I know. Yes. Well, we need to get clips of that on maybe a future show with regard to what he did to Kristi Noem. I know you were talking about that. Did you watch it?
Yes, and it was so good. He just shut her. She couldn't even say anything because everything he was saying was completely spot on.
Yeah.
And she just, like, sat there and looked like a dipshit.
Yeah.
Because
they're spending money that they don't have, and they're not spending the money on things that they are supposed to be spending money on.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be, like, I think he said by, like, June or July, they're going to
through their fiscal year. Yeah.
They'll run out of money. That'll be fun. Yeah. But yeah, so he had Chris Murphy on. I haven't listened to all of that one yet. I'm only halfway through that. But the one I did listen to, it's the title is Kleptocracy, Inc. And he had Anne Applebaum on with him. For anyone that doesn't know, Anne Applebaum, she's a Pulitzer Prize winning historian. She's a staff writer at The Atlantic, which I like The Atlantic as well. That's one of my trusted sources. And they sometimes they're really in on, like, the up and coming news, because they sometimes get included in her editor
chats when there's, like, war plans coming out. So really, really trusted information there.
Exactly. But she is she's a historian, but the area that she's focused on for many, many years is the rise and fall of democracies, and specifically how they turn into kleptocracies. And so kleptocracy, which I just love saying that name. I don't like it, but I like saying the word kleptocracy. What it means is that and I don't know if it's run by thieves is what it means, but it's essentially a form of political corruption where government officials use their power to enrich themselves and their friends at the expense of the public. Sound familiar, right? Yeah. and even more so, another fun word to say is kakistocracy, because I think we're both of those. Kakistocracy is government run by the least suitable or competent citizens of the state. So these are words that.
Which one? Yeah, definitely both.
Definitely both. And so I did a deep dive into some of the stuff I was hearing and seeing as far as really kind of self-dealing. I know you and I touched on it an episode or so ago about, some of the insider trading, but it's more than that. I mean, we can start with the tariffs because that's how it rolls into that.
I mean, does it have anything to do with the fact that these governments of other countries are funneling money to him via his cryptocurrency?
I have. Yes. How did you know? Well, we can start there. Let's start there. So the crypto, which Trump hated, like he was not a fan of crypto.
He was completely against
it, but now he's for it because
fake. He learned that he can make money off of it and scam people out of their money. Yep. I swear to God.
Yep. So he's become a prominent figure, and I mean Trump, because he started his own. He has his own meme coin. It's like $ Trump. It's stupid. And then his sons, Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
I was just gonna say that. Literally. God.
I didn't even have that written down. That just came to me. Yep. I think Eric is the Tweedledum. They always parody him
for sure. SNL. For sure.
But they launched World Liberty Financial in 2024. So the summer before the election, that was the crypto company that they launched. And they did it with a bunch of really shady.
I read this.
Did you read it?
I read this like a week and a half or 2 weeks ago.
I sent it to you, didn't I? Yes.
Yes, that is the one.
Yeah.
I was like, I stayed up reading that.
It was a long read. I'll tell you what, I put it through after I read it. I put it through AI to give us summaries because it was a long read and there was a lot of detail there. But so they started this business in 2024, the summer before the election. And then Trump just was all about it. So a Trump affiliated entity owns 60% of this company, and it's entitled to 75% of the revenue from the coin sales. And the company introduced this WLFI. It's a token. It's a crypto coin that gained traction following Trump's 2024 election. So it shot up. And obviously 75% of the revenue is being funneled in to this business that's majority owned by the Trumps. They have been engaged in what are known as crypto token swaps, where after he was elected, he was basically, his sons and him were leveraging him as being president-elect to swap crypto with other startups for a significant fee. The startups would spend anywhere between 10 million and 30 million. And then the Trump organization, or this, World Liberty Financial, would then also purchase the startup, but not as much. Like there was a premium as high as 20%. So they were pocketing 20% because President-elect, he's going to be able to, his name's behind it, marketing the president, marketing himself. And this is from the New York Times, by the way. This is all multiple sources. But back to the Trump meme coin. So they got into cryptocurrency with this World Liberty Financial. And then they started launching these meme coins. And it was Trump, Melania got involved in this. And in January 2025, right before he was inaugurated, that's when they launched the Trump meme coin. And the initial coin offering released 200 million tokens, while the Trump affiliated entities associated with it retained 800 million tokens. And so they had significant control. Within hours of the launch, the coin's market value exceeded $27 billion. So it was one of the most valuable cryptocurrencies at the time when it launched. But then it fell off the cliff. But there were 58 what they call wallets in the crypto world, made over $10 million each. So they bought, or they had it, they knew when, they timed it, and then they sold it, right? So it's a market, what's the word I'm trying to, manipulation. But
he would never do that.
No. Yeah, 764,000 other wallets, mostly small holders, mostly people who supported him, actually lost lost money, or a lot of money in some instances. So yeah, and the cryptocurrency is just sleazy. In February, after after he was president, Eric Trump was passed along some investment advice to his followers on X. So they're doing this out in the open. And so I don't know, I guess that.
Well, that's like his statement when he said, right, that was a good time to buy.
That's exactly,
right. He was manipulating, like he's clearly manipulating the markets, trying to get all of his billionaire buddies. Like, how much money do these fuckers need? Yeah. Like, seriously, there's starving children everywhere across the world. We're taking away all the aid that we've been giving to these people, and you need more fucking money.
Yep.
Do you not have enough jet? I mean, they're getting a new jet. Did you see that? Qatar?
That was today. Yeah, Qatar. I think it's Qatar made Qatar.
Is it?
I think it's
Qatar.
But
I don't
regardless. No, they're donating.
Yeah, a new Air Force One, basically,
to Trump to use during his presidency, and then keep it. Did you read that? And keep.
And what are they getting in return for that? I don't think they mentioned that. It's weird.
Not to mention, like what I was reading, it would cost millions of dollars to take the stupid plane apart to like make sure that there's no,
like security or surveillance
listening devices, surveillance, things like that. But yeah, he'd get to keep it afterwards, and it would be transferred to his foundation that's going to build his presidential library. Of all the people in the world
to have a library
named after them, it would be him. But yeah, so that's not corrupt at all. Yeah.
I have a fun quote for that, by the way.
Yeah, what's that?
I assume you saw our favorite White House correspondent.
The press secretary?
Yeah. Okay.
Carolyn Levitt?
Press. Yes.
Carolyn, leave it there.
when they were asking basically about the funds and the cryptocurrencies and stuff, she said, and I quote, "It is ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service."
The dude filed for bankruptcy at least 4 times. He bankrupted a casinos.
I don't understand. I just don't.
Yeah. He's a snake oil salesman. So,
he's just a snake.
Very true. Very true. Wait, he goes, obviously you just talked about the plane. Do you know how much they've spent on golfing? They said isn't it something like $30 million or something stupid so far? They said if it continues at the end of his term in 4 years, it will be over $1 billion as a result of him going down and playing golf.
I hate him. Yeah. Hate him. Also, there was another thing that I think it just came out recently about the UAE government there's like a $2 billion investment into crypto.
Oh, no, I have that. Yep.
From UAE. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. That was on Thursday that broke. Zach Witkoff, who is the son of Steve Witkoff, who is the special envoy to the Middle East and who has met with Putin like 4 times and praised Putin. Just wonderful. So happy to meet him. But he and Eric Trump announced that the $2 billion deal with them. What was it? That's part of World Liberty's new stable coin. Yeah, $2 billion deal.
Yeah.
Crypto exchange. This is just money being funneled in. And because crypto is so sketchy, right? As far as it's a blockchain, and I still don't quite understand it.
And yet most people don't understand it. And that's why they're getting away with this bullshit, is because
it's very easy to essentially money launder. And oh, by the way, the DOJ isn't investigating foreign or political corruption or foreign interference or anything like that. So essentially, no problem there.
Free for all.
It's a free for all. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Well, then we have Donald. Moving off of that a little bit, and maybe we'll circle back. But we have Don Jr. and his business partner, which also includes both of Witkoff's sons, Zach and Alex. So all these people, they're getting really, really rich. They are launching an exclusive DC club with the membership of $500,000. Did you see that? It's a private hangout for donors and business moguls to rub shoulders with top Trump officials. That's how they're marketing it. It's disgusting. I like it. It just makes me so mad. Yeah, I guess I have
this is where we are.
So back to the not only did Qatar donate this new Air Force One for Trump to use, but they also announced, the Trump organization announced a deal to build a luxury golf resort in Qatar. It's lovely. So I tell you, those Trump boys are really busy because they also sit on several corporate boards. Dominary Holdings, it's a small public financial services company that has headquarters in New York's Trump Tower. And it saw its stock price surge more than 1,200% in 6 weeks after Trump Jr. and Eric Trump joined its advisory board and took equity stakes in it worth millions. Trump Jr. has also been named to the board of a digital firearms retailer called Grab a Gun, and that's set to go public this summer. So yeah, they're busy boys.
How dare we think that they would be trying to profit off of the presidency, though? They would never.
And what is so disgusting about it is they're doing all of this. They're putting forth this budget bill. They're taking so much away from
people that really need it.
Yes. They're threatening to cut, or they are going to cut Medicaid by an ungodly amount. I read that 24% of our country is actually on Medicaid. So when they gut Medicaid in order to pay for, so this isn't enough, right? Everything we've talked about. They also want these tax cuts or the Trump tax cuts to continue for the country's, top 1% or 0.1%. And to do that, they have to cut things that we need. Meals on Wheels for the elderly, Medicaid, which will absolutely devastate rural hospitals. They will close because they rely so heavily on Medicaid in rural areas.
Not to mention they want people to keep having babies. But that $5,000 thing is going to really do it for them. Because guess what? Your damn, I don't know, car seat, high chair, stroller. Guess where most of those come from?
China.
And guess what they're going to be now?
Yeah, twice as much. Which they're already so expensive. Right? A stroller, a couple $100, like basic.
Very basic.
Basic.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're taking from those. I think Bill. I don't think I wrote. Did you see Bill Gates? There was some
when he announced that he's like basically giving all of his money away.
Yeah, yeah.
When he dies,
he basically said, "No one. When I die, I'm not sure what they'll say about me, but I know they won't say that he died a rich man." He said he's giving away virtually all his money over the next 20 years. The plan was for his foundation to live beyond, after he passed away. The goal was for it to, to function for another 50 years. But he said he can't afford to do that, that we can't afford to do that right now, given the cuts and what Doge and Elon Musk and Trump are doing to the world's health care. I think he said something. I thought I had this quote.
Was it about something about the world's richest man killing the world's sickest or poorest children?
The poorest children. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he went after Elon Musk. And it's just kudos to him. It makes me want to go buy some Microsoft something. Because he's not leaving much to his kids. I mean, 1% of what he has is still a lot. But, he believes very strongly.
Versus like Trump, which, yeah.
Well, he believes very strongly in like having an estate tax, because this is how we get into this mess where the wealth gap is so large, because these people that are
and they cheat the system. They know how to cheat the system, and they've done it for decades now.
Yep. And then they pass that on.
Right.
Yep. And this is how we have people who, are living in poverty versus people who have so
can't
much
get
money.
Out of it.
They
how many even when you try, even when you try and you want to go and, go to school, go to college, then we're going to hit you with 8 and 10% interest rates on your student loans, or not even have them available anymore to you. Like, they want to keep it this way. They don't want people to get out of poverty. They don't want there to be a bridge between the top 1% and the bottom. Like, they're done. They're not playing nice at all. It's them. What I need to know their end game. Let's just keep catering, taking all the money that we can get, and then just sit and watch everybody else suffer and die. Is that fun? Like, are you gonna have a new game show? Like Survivor, but it's not a game.
Yeah. So, we can't get away from Howard Nutlick. And that's just his name from now on, by the way. Howard Nutlick. I mean, to what you've said earlier, or when we've spoken about this being like the Hunger Games, this is what he said. So this jackass said a lot of dumb things, and this is right up there. He said maybe over the weekend or last week, that the great jobs of the future that Gen Z could work in for the rest of their lives, and so could their grandchildren. He's talking about factories. He wants generation after generation to work in factories. So that's the new model he sees for you, your kids, and your grandkids. Your grandkids, your kids. You think he's working in a factory, or anyone in his family? He's the jackass who said that his mother wouldn't miss Social Security payment and would just think, they just messed up.
Yeah, maybe next month.
Like, you fucking imbecile. You're completely, like, you talk about out of touch.
That's the thing. They are so completely removed from normal society that they have no idea what their actions, like the consequences of what they have done. It's insane. And maybe that's why he continues to surround himself with a bunch of billionaires, because that's what he doesn't want anybody calling him out for, what he's really doing. He doesn't want to listen to it. If he continues to surround himself with people like this, then no, they're all happy as can be. He's the greatest.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
When during his stump speeches, he'd say things like, "Oh, we're going to be the richest we've ever been. He was not talking to his supporters. He was talking about him and his gang of, gang of thieves that were going to get rich off of the American people. And, Elon Musk, I had a few things about him. I think he's starting to pull away because, he's completely fucked over his Tesla company, which I couldn't be happier about. But so Trump, or apparently this is what's being reported, that as part of that, we're circling back, it's full circle, part of that UK deal or discussion focused on, and this was per the Washington Post, citing State Department cables. So the readouts show that the US embassies and the department push countries to clear hurdles for satellite companies, often mentioning Starlink by name as part of the negotiations.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yep. We had to do Starlink. On top of that, Elon Musk, he has been subsidized by the US government. He receives billions of dollars in contracts a year, government contracts. He also faced numerous legal and regulatory investigations, including those by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, over market manipulation with Tesla, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, over market manipulation and anti-competitive business practices with X. And you can guess what I'm going to say next. Those investigations they've been shut down. They've been shut down.
So, is it probably because the people that did them got fired?
Probably. Well, that's probably why they got fired, to be honest.
This is why I had to take a break this week. Because the more I read, the more overwhelming it gets, and the more depressed I think I get about it. Because, what the hell did we do? We do protests. We stop buying at certain stores to try and send a message. We stop, supporting different things. They have this country by the balls. No one's putting them in check. We have a small portion of, Congress that's willing to stand up and say something. But they basically said they're doing what they want and no one's going to stop them.
Well, I would encourage you and anyone that's listening to listen to that podcast by Scott Galloway, the Prof G Pod, because he talks about, especially this latest one, the Kleptocracy with Ann Applebaum, talks about historically how, democracies have become kleptocracies and authoritarian governments, and then how they pulled away. And the way you pull away is, or at least attempt to pull away, to point out, look over here what they're doing and how they're living and who is benefiting.
How did his voters not see this before they fucking voted for him? As a gold goddamn toilet?
Yeah.
And you think he understands you?
He's put gold all over, gold leaf all over the Oval Office. That gaudy shit.
He's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. But meanwhile, everyone else is losing healthcare. They're losing jobs.
We're cutting cancer research. We're cutting everything. We're cutting the progress that we had made with the Biden administration and capping drug costs and helping out with insulin.
It's gone. And it'll take decades, if it's even possible, to correct, to self-correct. But so, but that's, I think I'm trying to take kind of what they said in that podcast. And, I think that's how I was approaching this, just trying to highlight just the obscene amount of, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, but the obscene amount of corruption at levels that we can't even imagine. And it's just out in the open. And the Republicans to date are still
this is so much bigger than Nixon. Are you shitting me?
That makes Nixon look like
the Pope.
The Pope.
We love Pope Leo.
Pope Leo. I'll tell you.
I am excited for that.
I am too. My heart jumped a bit, and I think it's because I had a moment of hope.
When I first saw American, I was like,
oh no,
Jesus, take the wheel. but then I read about him and I was like, well done. Well done.
From all reports, it's a good place to end. By all reports, he's what I think religion was meant to be, what it should be.
Spent most of his time being a missionary down in South America, like did a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in with the people. Yes.
The needy people. He wants to help those people. He's for immigrants.
Yeah.
What do you know? People wanting to get out of bad situations that we should be trying to welcome into our country.
Yeah, so I think a glimmer of hope there. At least I'm hopeful about that. And I don't know. Just keep talking. I don't know. And drinking.
I did have a couple fun quotes though for you.
Oh yes, I forgot. I had some quotes too.
Although there's just one that I really like, and it's not like guess who said it quote, but it's the truth. And I don't know when she said it, but Jasmine Crockett, one of the most outspoken, Congress women we have, she had put out, and it resonates a lot. She said, there's a problem that Democrats have had. We've significantly underestimated how callous and selfish some people are. We've truly wanted to believe in the general goodness of humanity. The fact that people are okay with losing their jobs in healthcare, going into a Trump-induced recession, not being safe, militarily, medicinally, digitally, while flying, etc., all in hopes that someone else will be hurt, is wild. Actually, it's downright satanic. But this is where we are in this country.
Yeah.
And she's spot on. There are so many people out there. Oh, I love liberal tears. This isn't about liberal tears. This is about you voted for your country to get fucked. And it's happening.
People. Yeah. You're hurting people. It's gonna become real is my thought. And I think it has to become real for a lot of people for anything to change. I just hope it's not so bad that it can't be undone. That's my fear. But I have some quotes. I'm not going to tell you who said this. You tell me who said it.
I hope we have the same one.
Quote, if you tell a big enough lie and tell it frequently enough, it will be believed. Who do you think said that?
Trump.
Adolf Hitler. Yeah, I know, right? Your turn.
I stand by my answer.
Your turn.
My turn. I'll even give you a hint. This is from 2016. For years to come, there are many people on the right, in the media, and voters at large that are going to be having to explain and justify how they fell into this trap of supporting Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton.
That's our lovely Vance. I thought you'd go for that first. Marco Rubio.
Oh, right. How far he has fallen.
Yep. When I saw it, I was like, wow. I mean, we've all seen the JD Vance quotes because he's called
him America's Hitler.
Like, yeah, basically. So I was like, oh, that's a nice one from little Marco. How the tides have turned for some people that lost their soul, traded it for some money. Crazy.
Yeah. I have two more. Do you have any others?
No.
Let me make sure this is an actual quote so that I'm not. Yes. It's poisoning the blood of our country. Talking about immigration.
Part of me wants to say JD Vance. Part of me wants to say Hitler.
Take a guess.
I'm going to go Vance.
Trump.
God. They're so similar. It's just hard. But wow, isn't that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Hitler used similar language.
Right.
Yeah. I have one more. The victor will never be asked if he told the truth.
Hitler.
Yep. Yep. Do you have any others?
No, but that's just really depressing.
What's really, as I was looking for quotes,
when you see the parallels, it's like pit of your stomach.
Especially, I mean, you look at Hitler in Germany, you look at Stalin, Mussolini.
And I think part of me, that's why I get so worked up and so defensive when it comes to trans rights, because again, they're coming for the smallest, the weakest minority, and that's pretty much what started with Hitler. Like they started out small. They didn't go straight for
the gas chambers for the Jewish people. No,
they didn't. It started out smaller, and then it progressively they just weeded people out. And
another thing that I recommend, On Tyranny. It's a super short book. I have it. I'm a nerd. I have things tagged for future episodes. But Timothy Snyder, and it talks about that transition from a democracy to an authoritarian government, and it's scary. The parallels, what we're seeing now compared to this. But at any rate, can we end on, let's end on something with Disney to cheer me up now. I can talk about my upcoming Disney adventure. Yeah. So super excited. We're doing a Disney cruise. It's our second one, as you know. And it's in the Mediterranean. So I'm super excited.
I'd be super excited too to get out of here.
Well, we haven't decided whether we'll have to kind of get the feel for the lay of the land to see if we are American or Canadian. My daughter,
Canadian. You absolutely say Canadian.
You and me.
All you got to do is say sorry. A lot. Sorry.
Oh, it sounds like my speech impediment. Sorry.
Yeah, you did. You had the R. Sorry is hard for you. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I had a speech.
Obviously, the good old A. Just whip out A a lot.
Yeah, A. Well, your niece.
Okay there, A.
Your niece wants to just talk in her English accent the whole time.
Do it. Just confuse the hell out of people so they just don't even know. Yeah. Because the last thing I'd want people to know is that you're American.
Yeah. So we'll see how that, we're just going to have to feel it out. We're not going to broadcast it necessarily. Well, we're not going to broadcast it at all, but do we admit to it?
I'd be wearing a fucking hat with a Canadian flag on it. Are you shitting me? Yep. Oh yeah, just get all the sports teams. Get the Maple Leaf. Wear jerseys. For Christ's sake, get jerseys.
Toronto Blue Jays.
The Raptors. Raptors. Yep, you got it.
But we're super excited. Disney. I was not a cruise person, and I still don't know if I am. But we did our first cruise last year, and the kids loved it. It was just 3 nights in the Caribbean, but this is 7 nights in the Mediterranean. And we're seeing just a lot of history and ending in Rome and going to the Vatican, which I am now so excited about with Pope Leo. So, I joked about to my husband that maybe we should consider converting to Catholicism. I don't know. I was caught up in the moment, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put a pin in it. But we're very excited to end in Rome and go to the Vatican, and obviously do all the touristy things with the Colosseum and things like that. But we have a lot of fun ports, and Disney is lovely with regard to the special touches and the entertainment and the things that kids can do with or without the parents. We like to keep them with us, but I will say my son really enjoys being away from us on these cruises. I know, but that's okay. I know, he's 17 now, and they have a teen club, and he just kind of hangs out with he has 2 sisters, so it's good that he gets hang out with other teenage boys. So he's really looking forward to that. And then of course the food on the Disney cruises, it's really nice. They have buffets, which I'm not usually a fan of buffets because I'm a germaphobe, but the way they do it, they serve you, like you just point to what you want and then they serve you. So I'm good with that then, and you always get to try new things, so I'm very excited about it.
Yeah,
that's and we're going to Disneyland in Paris, so woohoo!
And I will cat sit your new kitten while you're gone.
You're getting your kittens this week?
Probably. They're getting spayed and neutered this week. So within the next week or so.
And what are their names?
Little girl needs about a week after for recouping, because she does not need to be in this chaotic house while she is recovering. I'm still going for Oliver and Dinah.
From Oliver and Company and Alice in Wonderland.
We're getting some pushback, so we'll see.
Who's giving pushback?
The husband, the girls. We'll see.
Stand firm. Stand firm.
I am.
I can't wait to meet I'm going to Oliver and Dinah. Tell them Annie said yes. Oliver and Dinah. But at any rate, do you have any other fun things coming up, Disney related?
No, I think we're staying around for a bit because of the new additions. Not gonna leave them yet. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, it's been fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about next time, but yeah. Till next time.